Hello guys, I hope you're doing great. This is Mohammed Al-Talabi, and this session I want to talk to you about the concept of Photoshop, a layered software, and learn what it means to be layered and what options we have in the layers panel. Look guys, I wanted to explain this concept very simply. I can compare it to having several transparent screens on top of each other. See, in this layers panel, we have several options, each of which does a different job. This option creates a new layer. I told you we can consider layers like new transparent screens. A new transparent screen has been created here. See, now I choose green, for example, and I choose the brush and I paint this color like this here. It was as if I put a color on this transparent screen. Now I can move this screen on top of other screens using Move tool. For example, I have such a layer here which can be a screen that is placed on a photo. See, I can now move these screens that are stacked on top of each other. I'm using the term screen, but from now on, we will talk more about the term layer. Now I create a new layer and choose a color again. I select the brush tool and I paint such lines here. See, now that I select Move Tool option, I can move this over other layers. See, we can change the order of these as well. Now I click here, drag and drop it here. We can do the same for other layers. Look guys, we might want to have a copy of this layer. Just press Ctrl plus J, see? By doing this, we get an exact copy of the layer. We may want to delete our layer. Just select this layer from here and select the delete option from this section. We may not want to see our layer temporarily for any reason, and we may want to hide it. Just click on this part and on this eye, see? See, the layer exists, but it is hidden. When we click on the eye, we can have the layers back, and we can do such thing for all the layers. In this section, we have an opacity option that adjusts the density of this layer. When I decrease the opacity, the density of the layer decreases as well, so we can see the back of the layer. You can see when the opacity is on 0 and when it's on 100. Fill option works the same way. With this, we can also have controls on density. In this section, we have a lock option that we can lock our layer from a series of aspects. See, the first part we have the symbol of a few pixels next to each other. When we select this option, we can move the layer or make it smaller and larger, but we cannot add or subtract a pixel to the layer. For example, if I want to delete a part of this layer, we'll see that only the paint on it is being erased, and the color that is specified is the color that is in this part. So the number of pixels does not change. If I want to select the brush and select black and draw, we see that the number of pixels does not change. Only the existing pixels are being edited. For example, if I select the yellow color here and draw it, we'll see that only the color of these pixels changes. So this first option locks the layer in terms of pixels. The second option allows everything, but we cannot do any paint on the work. For instance, we cannot choose an eraser and a brush, and in terms of painting, it locks our work. If you click on it, it will be locked, and when you click again, it will be unlocked. In the next option, we can lock the layer in terms of movement. See, the layer does not move at all now. You can add to it or subtract pixels from your layer, but you can no longer move it, and the move tool no longer works. See, we have nothing to do with the next option. Look, the last option locks the layer in all aspects. There is nothing else you can do. As long as this lock is here, you cannot even remove it unless you select this option and remove the lock. In the Layers panel, we have a series of options. We said, for instance, it erases the first one from the right, the second creates a new layer. With the next option, we can create a group and put a number of layers within that group. But how? All you have to do is hold Control and click on some of the layers you want and take them and drop them on the group. And by clicking on this option, you can close the group. Now you can hide or move it and make it smaller and larger. All settings are now applied to the whole group, and in lock mode, these lock options disappear. We will only have these two options that we can use. In the group, we can sort the layers. See, I select the whole group and move it. I come into the group. I want to take this out of the group, as you see, and I click on it and drop it out of the group. As you see here, there is only one layer inside the group right now. If we select the group and select the delete option, it will send a message asking if you want to delete the whole group with its contents or just the group. If I select the first option, the group will be deleted with all the layers inside, and if I select the second option, only the group will be deleted and the layers will come out of the group. Alright, we talked about layers on the right. There is a layer panel. If you do not have this panel, you can select layers from the window. As you see, the first option on the bottom deletes the layer, the second one makes a new layer, the third one makes groups. The next section is about adjustment, which I will explain later. We have mask, and then we have layer style, which I will explain in detail later. We said layers are like transparent screens that can move on top of each other. We said we have opacity that comes to control transparency. And at the end, we talked about and we got familiar with them. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have fun.